What was the longest bookings that you would see? Would it usually just be like the whole weekend or?
I had one guy rent it for like a whole month.
Dang.
I think I billed him like $4,000 or $5,000.
What's up, world? Welcome back to the TunedinTony podcast. We got my guy Akeem Reed in the building today.
Yo, what's going on?
Happening? This is an Atlanta serial entrepreneur, multiple businesses from Slingshot business to helping service people go digital to even working in beauty salons, which was crazy. So we're about to hear his whole story today. So let's get started with the backstory first, just so we can figure out like where you're from, who you are, and then we're going to get into all the big stuff that the people want to hear. So where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Georgetown, South Carolina.
Okay, Georgetown, South Carolina.
Yeah, I grew up in Georgetown, and I moved to Atlanta about 12 years ago.
12 years ago? Yeah. Okay, what part of Atlanta?
Right now, I'm on the east side.
East side, okay, yeah, that's the best part, you know what I'm saying? East side. So when did you get into business? Like around what age were you?
First getting into business, it starts off, I started off selling cantaloupes.
Cantaloupes?
Yeah,
that's different.
From my grandfather.
Okay.
Yeah, my grandfather was a farmer.
Was that in Georgia?
No, I was in South Carolina.
South Carolina, okay.
I was in Denmark, South Carolina.
Got you.
Nothing but woods.
No, so when you're selling, I'm seeing you got like a booth on the side of the highway or something. Like, how are you doing this?
On the side of the street.
The side of the street.
In front of the house.
Okay, how much were y'all selling the cantaloupes for?
I can't even tell you. $2.
$1. Did he have like a farm and he was growing them and you just go out there and boom?
Exactly.
Got you. What lessons did you learn from selling cantaloupes?
I learned you can make your own money.
That's
the most important thing.
Yeah.
And in doing that, we used to farm. Like we used to go out there to the farm, and that was the first business endeavor.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
And to me, it didn't seem like a business. It seemed like it made it normal.
Yeah.
To do your own thing. It made it normal to work for yourself. So I didn't really see.
So did you ever have a job, or was it just straight kind of like I'm in business for myself in a sense?
No, actually, how I got into business was having a job. So that's why I'm a real advocate of, if you don't have to just go start a business.
Right.
You know, the best way to get into the business is to have a job and make sure you have a job in something that you want to do, and especially working for a small business owner.
Right, because you can see the whole operation, see what's going on.
Right, and everyone needs a mentor, right? But you don't necessarily have to pay for a mentor. You don't necessarily have to do this, do that. But just having a job where you can earn while you make an income, that was the most valuable. I think those are the most valuable lessons I learned in being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Just having a job, working for a small business owner, and I saw everything. You know, I saw everything from promotion material. I saw everything from sales. I saw everything from training. I saw everything from inventory. I saw everything from the money being counted, how much we were making, how much we were losing, how much we had to kick out. I saw all of that working with a small business owner.
What I like about that a lot too is like you said, so many of us, especially in today's time, are so big on you got to make 7 figures a day, you got to make 6 figures a day. But actually, like if you want a mentor, and especially if you can't afford a mentor, maybe let's start by just working in a small business and not thinking about it solely for the money, but the experiences that you get with it. Because you are right. When you work for small businesses, you may get payroll check this Friday, but next week it's a Zelle, and you're like, what's different? But you're seeing all the, the issues that can arise, and you get that experience. And when you go in for yourself, it's like, all right, now I know what not to do for the things that I did see. Right. That was an excellent point that you made.
Yeah, you get to see what not to do. You get to see what works. You get to see what didn't work. And even with my business, I focus on hiring ambitious entrepreneurs, right? I don't want to hire just a regular person. I mean, not say regular person, but I don't want to just hire someone just looking for a paycheck, right? Because when you hire entrepreneurs, those are the people that are gotta be serious about growing your business and growing along with them, right? And that's how you have a better retention rate.
Definitely.
When you work with people. Now, in seeking that opportunity, a lot of people don't want to take the opportunity unless there's paycheck involved, right? And a lot of times it's going to be a paycheck, especially if you're working for somebody. But that paycheck, the opportunity is more valuable than what you're getting paid.
Right.
And I say that because when I started working as a salesperson in my kiosk, I was getting 20% commission. Yeah. And I mean, my checks were 400 to 800, maybe 1,000 if I was really, really good in that week, you know? And really that money doesn't really didn't. It kept the shelter over my head, but it didn't really do that much, financially for me.
Right.
But within those 3 years, eventually the owner of the company, he said, "Look, we're trying to expand. Me and my cousin Sean were the highest top salespeople in the company." And he said, "Yo, this is what we're doing. I'm shifting. I got some kiosks over here that aren't really doing that good. Let's go help those out. Let's go train those people." And me and my cousin Sean, we actually went from being in South Carolina. Our first location to work on was in Savannah, Georgia. Then we went down to Florida. Then we went to North Carolina, back to South Carolina. And eventually, over time, his business grew.
Yeah.
So we were.
Is that how you got in the kiosk business?
That's how I got into the kiosk business.
What age are you at this point?
21, 22.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere around 21, 22. So when that happened, I started seeing and this guy had 16 more kiosks, through South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, North Carolina. So I started he taught me how do you know how a mall is gonna perform before you even sign the lease?
Right.
How do you negotiate the lease? This is what we're doing. Hey, Akeem, we want to open up here. He sent me a blank check. Told me this is what you tell them. This is what the offer is. This is how you go down. This is how you could tell if the mall, because we're opening up in places he's never even been, right?
So that's dope. So he would send you a blank check.
He was take us down to a mall.
That was part of the negotiation.
Right.
So you'd walk in, find, when you walk into a mall, who do you talk to when it comes to kiosk?
You talk to the specialty leasing manager.
Okay. Right. Would you schedule an appointment or just walk in?
Sometimes you want to schedule an appointment. Now, especially after the pandemic, you want to schedule an appointment, but back then you could just walk in. Right. And if they were there, you get lucky. But most of the time, he told them that we were coming, and we'll go in the mall. We'll sit in there for a while, check the foot traffic, make sure it was the type of mall by this criteria that he marked out. And if it was a good mall, we would, hey, it's a good mall. I think we should do it. Yeah. We'd say, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
And eventually, we started seeing a profit share because we had to train the salespeople when we opened it up. We had to train everyone to work it, and like I said, we used to go from mall to mall. So one mall wasn't doing good, we would go to this mall. And this mall isn't in place, we'd go to this mall. Yeah. And we'll open up here. And then eventually, it just came a time where he was like, you know what, Akeem, I think you need to open up your own right now.
And was that because you were doing so well, or were you growing out of his structure?
It was kind of a mixture of both. We saw the numbers at this point. Now we've been doing it for 3 years with him, so we kind of saw what we're worth. We kind of saw we set this up. This is the money coming in. This is what the cost is, and that stuff he kind of taught us. You know, but after a while, it's okay, we're ambitious. We ready.
Fact. You know what I mean? So when you go into a mall for a kiosk, and this is a very interesting topic because I think anybody listening right now, a kiosk may be a great option for you. So when you're going there for a kiosk, what are the terms like? How long is it versus a commercial lease, which may be 3 years?
Okay, so with a kiosk, you normally do a year lease, right? Unless it's a seasonal product. Back then, before the internet, you had a lifespan specialty say fidget spinners or selfie sticks or even the hoverboards.
Right,
stuff
right.
You have specialty products that have a season. You already know it's not going to sell for the next 5 years. It's not going to sell for the next 3 years.
Because those fidget spinners were going crazy.
They went crazy. So when you have products like that, you can do a 3-4 month contract. You can go in October and get out January 1st.
And they're cool with short term like that.
Yeah, they're cool with short term, especially if you're trying something, right? But you got to know the demographic of whatever you do to know the right mall to put it in. Every mall isn't going to do the same. The product isn't going to work the same in every mall, right? So it's about knowing the product and knowing which market to be in for that product. Okay. But other than that, you could do a one year lease is real typical with a mall when you go into a mall kiosk, a 1 year.
So
lease.
Is there a restriction? Because I know for my event spaces or my warehouse that I'm in right now, off the bat, they're going for 3-4 years. Is it a way that you could just be yo, let's play it safe. We only want 3 to 4 months. Does the price change on a shorter duration than a longer? Because it seems like it'd be safer to do a short term.
It's all negotiable. But the rent is typically gonna be less though. Especially when you're trying something out.
It's gonna be less on the long term.
It's gonna be less on the long term.
Gotcha.
Short term, they're gonna get you a little bit more.
And how much was your average rent at a kiosk?
It varies between the malls. So say Lenox is $5,000.
Yeah.
But
a month.
Yeah, $5,000 a month. But you can go to like Cumberland, which is 2,000, 1,800.
What would be like
Columbia,
a Greenbrier or something?
A Greenbrier, like 500.
Oh, okay.
I mean, probably asking you for 1,000.
So let's talk about that then. So people who, this will probably only result to people from in Atlanta, but basically what we're going to do is just go through the scale of malls. So we've got Greenbrier Mall, which is, you know, typically just for that suburban area, not the highest income, you know, stores in there. Is there still profit to be made at smaller malls like that versus the Lenox, which everyone knows? You know what I mean?
Well, Lenox with that 5,000 overhead, you got to think it's not really about you're not only looking at the rent, right? 5,000, yeah, you can make $5,000 in one day at Lenox, but you have to think about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, not just Friday and Saturday, right?
Right.
And you have to be open during those mall hours. Like if the mall's opening at, say, it's holiday hours, they open at 9, 10 o'clock.
Because they'll find you, right?
Yeah, they'll find you.
Yeah.
So you have the personnel there at 9, 10 o'clock when no one's even in the mall buying anything. So you have to really keep in the factor when you hiring during the hiring process. That what your total expense is actually going to be.
Got you.
You know,
so is the most traffic mall always the best?
No, it's not. It's not at all. Actually, like Cumberland Mall has probably been one of my worst malls, and it's like high traffic. Yeah, one of my best malls has been Stonecrest Mall.
For real, Stonecrest Mall?
Yeah, it's like
I could see that though, because at Stonecrest now you have, it's probably more. Is it because it's more family involved or what?
I think one is the community is where it is. It's not so much noise, right? You go to Cumberland, you can get other stores right outside or whatever, you know. But Stonecrest, the demographic, is really middle class, and it's a real family oriented mall. Like people come in there every Sunday, people come in there every with their families, kids, and it's just the way the mall is, you know, is real. I can't really tell you why it's like the best, but I mean, just look at the mall, just malls in general, right?
Yeah.
There's not really any closed stores inside Stonecrest.
That makes sense.
And it hasn't been like that for a long time. So you can tell a mall is going to be good or not by how many stores are open and how many stores are closed.
Got you. So what about picking your products? Like when you're going for a kiosk, is it usually a company and they're like, we're going to run this product through all of our kiosks, or are you just testing a bunch of stuff seasonal? How does that really work with kiosks?
You really test test everything, whether it's seasonal or you really look at the demographic of the mall, right? So say for instance, we take Stonecrest. It's basically going in there, looking at the stores and seeing what's missing. Yeah. Right. And you take what's missing and you just put it there.
That makes sense though. And what I do like about that is like, as a business owner, right? You may be like in a normal business, say we have a shoe store, we're going to open up all these shoe stores across Atlanta or wherever you're at, right? Yeah. But then with the kiosk, if you put a product in there, it's not working, you could probably flip it quick, right?
Right.
And then the mall's not looking at you like, oh, well, we need a new lease because this is a new, et cetera, et cetera. Right. You're just like, we need to put a new product in here, selling, put a new banner up, boom, right?
Yeah, and malls love that. They love for you to be able to be innovative because that's what they need. They're looking to serve their customers for whatever they're coming in there for. So when you can just quickly move, and when you're dealing with mall kiosk products, a lot of times you're going to deal with a manufacturer or a supplier that actually takes products back. Right? Okay. So especially when it comes to holiday seasonal stuff, like when I did the slipper kiosk, all the slippers I didn't sell, I got to take them right back, and they bought them back.
Oh, that's dope. See, that's game right there. So let's break that down. Like, what makes that manufacturer? Is it because you're like an affiliate of them? Like, how does that work?
No, you're not an affiliate. You're buying it wholesale. Just like you would buy anything else. You're buying it wholesale, but they understand what business that you're in. Yeah. You know, so you probably have a restocking fee of 15%, something like that. Okay. But that's the benefit when you.
Hey, that was some game right there. I didn't know that you could do that.
Especially when it comes to the holiday stuff.
Okay, cool. And then now, do you have a different? You probably have a different appreciation for kiosks, because I know the normal philosophy. You're walking and you're like, oh, I don't want them to give me. I don't want them to give me. So like, how does just that thick skin be built? And of course, it's built through like experience, trial and error. But like, what would you have to say for the people who are always like running from the kiosk person?
Well, it's not about. I mean, me personally, like, I don't want to get stopped all the time. You know what I mean? But it's more so of the actual salesperson himself. And it's being persistent because it's a numbers game. Yeah. Right? Everyone's not going to say yeah. Everyone's not going to buy. Everyone's not going to stop. And especially when I first started my mall kiosk, we were selling energy bracelets, right? They give them better balance, strength, and all of that stuff.
Did those really work?
Yeah, they really did. Cool. So you have to actually stop someone, get them to do a demonstration, get them to stand on one leg, and no one wanted. People didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you got the people that did, right? And you got the people that just support what you're doing too, but to make it sell. But it really doing that showed me, it like built like a confidence that if I could sell a bracelet for $25 just off of word of mouth, stopping everyone that walks through, when you have it built a persistence and a real strong foundation for a drive, you know. And that's, you got to have that burning desire with anything that you do. Like, this is what I want. Like, I knew for a long time I'm not going to be 30 years old doing this, like, right, for all my life. Like, and you got people that have been in the mall for 20 years, you know what I mean? But I didn't want to be one of those people that have to go to work every day and make money. So in turn, it showed me, you get told no so many times. So that's just a part of sales, but it teaches you, and it's not like you're getting cold calls no. You got people telling you no right in front of your face. You know what I mean? Right. I've had people just tell me to stop talking to them. I've had people curse me out before. Yeah. You know, so it just shows you how bad the word no really doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, just keep going.
Just keep going, Just keep going. And it probably, has it made you such a better salesperson?
It does. It has. Yeah. It has, most definitely.
What's the mall like, especially with kiosks, like post-pandemic? Because we used to go to the mall all the time, right? And then now there's like,
well, a lot of things in the mall. It's not even between the pandemic that really made the malls change.
Amazon
in general, it's when online shopping really happened. Yeah, right? And back in 2017 is really when it kind of started going really crazy for online shopping. And when that happened, like I was saying before, a lot of those specialty products that you can, like fidget spinners, for instance. Yeah, like some of those products you can have a whole year run with. Yeah. Right? That run got shortened down to 2, maybe 3 months.
You kind of had to be like first at it. Because now, like, I would see a fidget spinner and just order on Amazon, like you're saying.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So when that happened, anybody gets fidget spinners from anywhere because how fast the internet moves. Right. So when that happened, like mall kiosk owners that used to pop up with a product, you know, like tomorrow. Yeah. That kind of changed because now you got to think about how long is this product gonna last, especially when you're shipping stuff from overseas. You know what I mean? It might take a month to get there. Then when you get it, you know, you already cut down on a month of the hot window. Yeah. And with the internet, now you only got a month to do it. Does it even make sense to do it?
Yeah. Is it like mall politics? Like when you're in there, like you got the stores versus the kiosk
you actually
people.
Do. You actually do. So the funny thing is, you know, with any mall kiosk that you do, you want to have an exclusive. Right? And a lot of people, they don't know that. They don't do that. So that's to stop the mall from saying, you know what, he's selling a hot product, he's making a lot of money. And part of that negotiating process is to pay a certain amount. And then after that, because that's where you can go to the mall for really, really cheap. Because you can pay a certain amount, and if you exceed sales, they get a percentage. Right. So they get a back end off of what you do. But if the mall sees that, what are they gonna do? Someone else comes and wants to do the same thing. They're like, well, we're getting a back end from him. He's doing really good. Yeah, let's add him in.
So wait, the mall gets a percentage of the kiosk sales?
Yeah, once you hit the cap limit. So say you got a $2,000 rent, right? They might set your cap limit at $16,000
sales.
Yeah, so anything over $16,000.
Do you have to use their POS system?
No.
So how do they know?
It's all self-reported.
So it's like. Yeah, Samaritan,
like,
Samaritan.
Yeah, but you building a relationship at the same time. So say, I mean, I've been in the mall business for 10, 12 years. So if I have an idea and I'm not too sure about it, I'll say, hey, how about this? Give me a 2-3 month lease. Let me just start off with $500 or $1,000. Let me try it out. Yeah. And they'll say, okay, well, we'll let you start off with $500 to $1,000. But guess what? We're gonna cap your sales at $10,000. Yeah. Or $5,000. Yeah. And then you pay us a percentage. Yeah. So I'll take that all day long. And if I make the money, I'll pay you a percentage. Because I know next time it's about building a relationship. Yeah. I know next time if I'm not in a hot spot, I got a product and I want to just drop it, I don't got to worry about paying you. You know what I'm saying? Just get the product and set it up.
What is it like too with managing? Because like when did you have or did you manage the most kiosk at once?
It was probably 2018. I had about 17 more kiosks.
17.
Yeah.
So who do you put in place? I'm assuming some type of manager, but to make sure that like you're always staffed so you're not getting fined. And because I could see like the type of worker that is working, like, I mean, look at all the labor problems we have now where it's like they didn't show up or what. How do you manage all that?
Well, it's really like you really have to have you have to have strong people like ahead of you. And that's why creating the digital offers is it helps with that, right? Because it's hard because when you're hiring someone, they see everything, right? Especially as a small business like that, they see everything that goes in the register, they see everything that comes out. They may ask you how much the rent is or something like that, you know what I mean? But they see everything going on, and so what do they say? They say, hey, I could do this. He could do it. I could do it.
Right.
And you have a high turnover rate like that. So one of the things I do is I hire other entrepreneurs, like the same way I got taught. Well, listen, this is what we're doing. I always want to expand. I want to open up more kiosks.
Yeah.
Let's make sure you're there. Let's get you there.
Yeah.
Let's show you how to do this. Let me give you some responsibilities, right? And let me see how you do. You like it. You do it.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
Let's go open up another kiosk together. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. So you'll open kiosks with some of your like top employees.
Yeah, that's how I grew so much.
Gotcha.
I opened a kiosk with my best employees, like my sister. She has her own thing.
Yeah.
Because she was just working. It was like, all right, let's open this.
And I guess it's cool because it's not so much emotion tied to it as like when people get like, like their own brick and mortar, it seems like there's a different emotional attachment than like these kiosks. Like, I guess it's just faster, it's lighter, you know what I mean?
Right.
Versus like, got this lease for 3 years in this part of the city and I can only kind of do this because that's what my contract and my lease says.
Right. Yeah, with the mall business, that's how malls work. They're okay with new concepts. They're okay with short-term opportunities. And that's like the benefit of it.
Yeah.
You don't got to stay too much attached to the product.
Right.
The main thing with being in really with any business, but I really learned this inside the mall business, is being attached to the market.
Yeah.
Right. Seeing what the customers want, seeing the changes in what's happening and what the customers are looking for. That's how you come out with the high price. Like every product's not going to boom, but the certain products like the fidget spinners, I mean, it's making $15,000 a month in fidget spinners. You know what I mean? And you just.
And then how much were those costing per unit back then?
Like you get spinners $1.
Well, is that stuff all come from like Alibaba or something? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
$1 selling $15-$20.
Did you ever run into issues where you're selling so fast and you're like, dang, it's gonna take a month to get this stuff from China?
No, I mean you have to find other suppliers. Like you can't just have one supplier with anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're getting some overseas. So you have different suppliers that you might have a partner that ordered a whole bunch already. So you might go get 200 from him, 200 from this guy.
Yeah, it makes sense. So when did it start changing when you're like, okay, I've been doing the kiosk business for a while? Was it, did you get like annoyed with it or you kind of getting burnt out to get you into your next business? And what was your next business?
Well, it was really, that's when 2017 coming to 2018. I went into the mall one day and I was booming. I was like booming. Like that year was like crazy.
Yeah.
Right? And I went into the mall and it's like, probably around this time right now, it's like a few days before Christmas, right? And I checked the register and it's like $100 in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, where's the rest of the money at?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Are you seeing the money digitally? So you're like, it should be more?
Nah, I just walked in to just check. I was the one that walked in to collect. Like, I used to go to all the malls, pick up my money, pull it in the bag, and leave. Right? So I go in there, it's like $100. I'm like, how we got $100 in December? Like, December's the busiest month of the year.
Yeah.
So I saw more anchor stores. I saw Macy's was closing. I was like, how's Macy's closing? Like, Macy's don't close. Like, it's an anchor store.
Yeah,
like, Macy's don't go out of business. So after that year, I started seeing more and more bigger anchor stores leaving the mall. And then I think either the year after or later on that year, in 2018, that's when I think Amazon hit $1 billion or something like that. And in sales that year, they did something crazy. It was like they were the largest retailer in the world. That year, they became the largest retailer in the world. And I saw that, I was like, I'm doomed. Like, this fiasco I was on is like, I see it changing. Like the market changing. Like people are buying on Amazon.
And you had to pivot.
So that's exactly when I pivoted. Like I even closed a lot of stores during that time, because it's like it wasn't online shopping. Just it took off, and those hot products that you really made the money on, those lifespans were dwindling. Like you can just think of having something like selfie sticks. Yeah. So selfie sticks for a whole year. Yeah. You have a selfie stick kiosk now, you probably have it for 2 months, and
I mean, everything's so different now. Like that's why, like, if you know me, one of my favorite books is Who Moved My Cheese, right? Because as an entrepreneur, that's one of like the biggest skill sets we have to have is be able to like switch fast. Because it's like if you see change is inevitable, but if you see the change and you just wait, it's like you're gonna be lost. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get burnt. So basically, what I'm looking at is like you said, like all of those little hot products. Even now going into Best Buy, because they took the hit. Like you'll go into Best Buy, play with the camera or whatever, and you go on Amazon and buy it. Right. So it's like the whole market is just different. So what was the next business for you?
After that, I started focusing more on I was looking into real estate. I did real estate for a while after that. But what really turned me on was I was looking at real estate, and I had to get my credit together, right? Because I was going to buy my first property, my first home, and I ran into this guy, Brandon Weaver, on YouTube when I was looking up credit, and it's like 609 credit repair loophole and all of that. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay. And I bought the course, $49. I was like, yo, it's great. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So then after that, I got my credit up. I got my home. Starting like look at business credit and stuff like that. Yeah. I ran into I think Gizzy or somebody online. I'm like, I'll buy that too. You know what I mean? So then I started like buying more and more. Yeah. So eventually I started like paying attention to my own buying habits. I'm like, bro, like I keep buying online courses. Like, I was like, oh shit, I figured it out. Yeah. This is it, right? And so I was like, okay. So going before that, during the kiosk, we did a sales training. And back then it was DVDs. So instead of like going to every mall and having to spend there weeks and months we hired everybody, but we had everyone take a sales video training, right? So they watched the video, they understood how to sell, and then we came back and we like did some hands-on training with them. But off of that DVD that we had, we ended up a guy that opened up a shoe. He was selling shoe and soles. He had a shoe and sole company, Happy Feet. Yeah. So he ended up buying that training course to teach, because he was scaling his mall kiosk with Happy Feet. Yeah. So he ended up buying that course, the license of that course, and he paid us $5,000 for it at the time.
And you're like, oh snap, this is different.
He was like, yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna open up. He opened up like 100 locations.
That's crazy. And I mean, you're reminding me too, not to even lose the subject, like Alex Hermosi when he was doing Gym Launch. And it was like, he's doing all this manual work, going to gyms, opening them up. And then like him and his wife got tired of the traveling. And then he was like, maybe I could, well, actually someone called him and they're like, he's like, we're not doing all that no more. And they're like, well, let me just buy the training from you. And he was like, all right, how much? And then he said 6,000. Dude was like, cool. And then that's what opened up the whole, oh, I should license this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So, we didn't know nothing about license. We was like, this guy's got money, you know what I'm saying? He gonna just give us $5,000. He pays the $5,000. And if I knew what I knew now, that price would have been 10 times more. Yeah. Probably like 20 times more.
Is there ever opportunity where you like, I need to build a mall kiosk training course?
Well, that's essentially, it wasn't a mall. It was just a sales course.
Okay, right? Just sales course.
Yeah,
okay.
But because the mall is changing, you know, and it's hard to really pinpoint. I mean, you can still make money. I still have my beauty salons in the mall. Yeah, right.
That's what we got to talk about, the beauty salons.
Yeah, that's a service-based business. So I would take service-based businesses in the mall, but when you got online, and without the overhead, because there's a lot of overhead, especially when you're dealing with employees. Right. You know, and that I like that better. Yeah. Honestly. So I never did a kiosk training.
That's what you're saying. How'd you get into the beauty salons? Did that come after the kiosk?
No, that was a part of the kiosk. So I was just doing stuff. I was doing this, and I was next to a cosmetic kiosk. The girl had a cosmetic. She owned a cosmetic kiosk next to me.
Selling what? Lipstick, lashes,
all
lipstick,
that type of lashes. So I was like, I would tell her like, yo, if I owned it, this is what I would do. Yeah. And I would do this, I would do this, I would do this, I would do this. And, you know, eventually she ended up closing. She didn't really take my advice or whatever. So she ended up closing, and then I opened up right after her. So
Yeah.
that's when I started Glam Geeks Beauty Bar. And when that happened, it was just like perfect. You know what I'm saying? So, and that was a business that it was unlike anything I did prior to that. Everything else was quick, fast, jump from product to product to product to product to product. This had more sustainability, and this was more consistent.
And just to make it clear, when you say a beauty salon kiosk, are women getting their hair done at the kiosk?
Well, we do mostly makeup. We specialize in makeup.
Oh, okay.
So it's a full service makeup salon. Yeah. So.
And that's crazy because it's like you don't know how to do makeup at all, do you?
At all. Never.
You just saw the opportunity in it, right?
Right.
So then, for staffing that, did you just have to find like makeup artists and?
Well, yeah. Well, my best friend, she was a makeup artist. She worked. I met her working there. She worked there. So, you know, when I was telling the girl like what the problems were, I was like coming from an insider point of view. Like, you know, your staff's not going to tell you this, but I'm like being your friend right now. Like I'm telling you this is what you need to do. She didn't want to do that.
Was the beauty kiosk like better than all the other kiosks with just like the fidget spinners and stuff?
Yeah, because it was more reliable. You know what I mean? When I remember the first time when I had to shut the fidget spinner kiosk down. Yeah, it was like boom. Saturday, we normally make $2,000 on a Saturday. Yeah. I went into work and I made $50. I was like, I had to go pat my employee down, like check his pockets, like where the money at? Right. Then we're doing an inventory count, and all the inventory's still there. So I'm like, bro, dang, he didn't steal. Yeah. You don't like he stole unless he got some fidget spinners I don't know about. Right. And then it was like, forget that. Don't come to work tomorrow. I'm gonna work it. Yeah. Same thing. Because at that point, you like, I'm going to show you how to do it. You don't know how to sell. You know what I'm saying? So, dang. Same thing. But then women need their makeup done all the time. So that's what made it way more sustainable, right? Yeah, that's and they're sitting right in the middle of the mall getting their makeup done. Right. There wasn't ever any fear like, oh, it's hundreds of people walking. They didn't care. No, well, that's when it comes to the type of mall that you're in, right? I don't know if you could do that at Lennox. Yeah. Everyone, they get their makeup done before they even go to Lennox. Yeah, right? Facts. That's why you can't do that at Cumberland. Or they're going to go into like a Mac store or something. Right. That's why you don't do that at Cumberland. Yeah. Everyone wants to look good when they go up in the mall. Facts. You know what I mean? Yeah. With Stonecrest, it's more family oriented. You know what I mean? People go in there with Stonecrest, they wouldn't even care. Yeah, they girls walking around in bonnets. Yeah, got the bonnets on their head. They like, man, it's my birthday today. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna go look good later. So that's why the demographic matters. You know what I mean? And a lot of people had salons and stuff in different. You still got one in Stonecrest? Yeah, I'm still in Stonecrest. Where you in Stonecrest? Stonecrest in South Dakota. Like where in Stonecrest? Upstairs in front of Victoria's Secret, right? Nearest to Macy's entrance. That's dope. I even see like the little vending machines for like the lashes and stuff in there. You ever see those? Yeah. Okay, dope. I started that. Oh, for real? Yeah. So you got those too? Because I was gonna ask you, and I was like, I don't do that anymore. I did the game prize machines after that with the sneakers, and you play to win the shoes out the. It didn't go well. Machine. No, I went crazy. Okay, that was like the best business I could have. What made you be like, nah, I'm straight? I got shut down by the Georgia Lottery. Dang. Yeah. Oh, that was always someone hating, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? So how'd you get into the slingshots? So, you know, it's business after business, and being in that mall space, I kind of picked up on trends. Like I learned how to identify trends in the market. So, when that happened, when the pandemic happened, all my salons were closed. Yeah. Everything closed. The whole mall was closed. Yeah. So when that happened, we were like, me and my partner, we on the phone. We were like, yo, man, I think I got something. Yeah. I said, what? He said, yo, I think these slingshots are a go. Yeah. I'm like, slingshots? Yeah. And let me see. So I went online and I saw Polaris just came out with the automatic slingshot. No clutch anymore. No clutch anymore. Yeah. I was like, yo, that's a whole different market of people. Yeah. It's like everybody could drive it. So on Panola, on the east side, when I mostly see people on slingshots, they don't own those, do they? Most of the time? I can't tell you most of the time, but probably not. Yeah, they're probably just renting them, right? Right. Okay, that's dope. And so, when we saw that, it was like, that's like a whole new market of people. Like, so we ended up pre-marketing it, right? Yeah. It's like, it looks like a good idea. Let's make sure. Right? Let's just waitlist it or something. Yeah, let's put it out. So we create the website. We create the Google listing. We set it up. Yo, like it wasn't even a week later. Like people were booking. I was like, oh shit, they're booking.
Yeah.
Calling every 5 minutes.
And y'all didn't have any slingshots.
Have any slingshots.
What are y'all telling them at this point?
We're like, they're rented out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then I was like, they're calling. Let me see if they're actually gonna pay for it. Right. So we're like, okay, we'll have something coming up next week. We're usually booked the week out. You want to go ahead and pay for it now? Yeah, sure.
And had you already kind of been like, if they say yes, we got this slingshot.
We found a slingshot already. Yeah. It was just a matter of whether we buying it or not. So when that happened, we started taking the bookings. Yeah. And eventually, within the second week, I think we got picked up the slingshot July 23rd. We started marketing it like July 5th. By the time the 23rd happened, we had like $15,000 in pre-bookings already.
Dang, how much is a slingshot?
Slingshot back then you could pay $25,000 out the door. It was $25,000 out the door.
Gotcha.
So the first slingshot was almost paid off.
Dang. So and how much are people paying a day to rent these, or hourly? How did you run it?
We run it by the day.
Okay.
$350 a day.
$350. Yeah. Cool. And then people just wanted them. Like, and then, okay, so me being in the event space business, seeing trends of baby showers, birthdays, when people are renting the slingshots, is it literally just leisure, or they're like, I needed this day for this specific type of event?
It's a little mixture of both. You know, you got some people that they like them for the kids. Like if it's like a kid's birthday or something like that, they'll rent them for the kid's birthday.
The slingshots?
Yeah.
Aren't they motorcycles though?
Yeah, they want to take the kids for a ride.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Riding a motorcycle, so like, let's take them for the ride in the slingshot.
Okay.
So, birthdays, people just want to like be out. You know what I mean? So it's not really for a necessity thing though. Yeah. Like somebody don't have a car, they ain't running a slingshot. You know
right.
So it was more leisure. It's more leisure based.
And then did you run into like with the event space? It's like I need this date. You know what I'm saying? Like, or is it mostly like, was there a lot of flexibility? Like, yo, we're rented out on, this Saturday, but you can get it Sunday. Are they usually like cool, or they're like, oh, I'm straight, I only wanted it Saturday?
It's some flexibility there, but they just want it when they really the way off of work. Yeah. You got out of towners, they in town for the weekend or whatever. They want it then.
What was the longest bookings that you would see? Would it usually just be like the whole weekend, or?
I had one guy rent it for like a whole month.
Dang.
I think I billed him like $4,000 or $5,000.
So when you had to scale up, did you like start financing them, or did you just keep buying them outright?
Well, that it was cash flowing so good, we didn't have to finance anything.
You just buy another one.
We just buy another one.
Would you ever just like find a good used one or something, or?
Nah, we never. But back then we couldn't buy used because it was 2020 and they just came out with automatic, so everything had to be brand new. Got you. And I would always suggest that anyway because you got the warranty. So I like keep down on all the maintenance costs. Like we haven't really any maintenance costs, but the back tires. Yeah. Since I've been in business, I've never had to replace a brake or anything like that. Yeah. But the only thing I've ever had to replace was a back tire, except for damage when I have to get something repaired or something like that.
Are people like ever wrecking these?
Yeah, wreck them all the time.
And so in a sense, it's kind of like a motorcycle. We should, DJ, probably put like a picture of the slingshot up real quick. But like when they wreck it compared to a car, is it like less maintenance to get it back up and running?
Nah, the thing with the slingshot is it's never like a fender bender. It's either nothing really, just a scratch, or it's total. It's like no in between.
Got you. So what type of insurance do you have to have for something like this?
I think a commercial insurance policy.
Okay, so this isn't no like Geico or anything?
No. See, that's what a lot of people make the mistake at. Like even with luxury cars, like exotic cars, like if you have full coverage insurance, your coverage you can transfer over to the car if you're driving it. Right. But when it comes to slingshots are considered motorcycles. So unless you have a motorcycle policy.
Geico is good with motorcycles, aren't they?
Progressive is the best.
Progressive, yeah.
Progressive is the best. So when you come to a motorcycle, your auto insurance is not going to cover that. Yeah. So you have to get the commercial policy.
And do you have to do like a fleet type of insurance since you got multiples? Yeah. Okay.
Cool. So the insurance, it's pretty expensive. Yeah. You know what I mean? But the slingshots, it's like renting out at mansion prices and you paying for like a mobile home. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
Like the perceived value of the slingshot is much higher than anything you could pay $25-30 grand for. Right. Like, when you buy a Honda, you can't rent a Honda for $350 a day. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So when it comes to the slingshots, it's more the perceived value is just higher. And it's all stuff you can add to them too. You can put lights on them, less than $500.
I always hear people with the big sound systems on.
Sound systems on them.
All yours got the sound systems?
Nah, I don't
know. Okay.
I put the lights on them. Like I had one, I just completely decked it out because I just liked it. Yeah. But the rest of them, no.
Got you.
I never
And
did
why
it.
not put the sound system? Would you be able to charge more?
Not really. You're not really charging more for the sound system. You're charging more for like the customer like want it. You know what I mean? It is good. But the thing in Atlanta is we're the biggest in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Right. So we don't really, the competition is not.
Yeah.
We ain't not worried about no competition.
What's the Slingshot business called? Just so people watching, you know.
It's Slingshot Rental Atlanta Slingshot Rental, and Slingshot Rental Fairburn, Top Knot Slingshot Rental.
Okay, so since you said you're in Panola, then you got Fairburn, you got them on both sides of the city?
Yeah.
Okay, that's dope.
And we got one in Decatur. We got Top Knot Slingshot Rental.
Oh, dang. So all over. How many slingshots you got total?
I think now we got 18.
18? Oh, so you
18
roll.
in Atlanta. So,
Yeah.
So when we first started, you know, we created in Decatur. That's when we first started. Then within that next month or so, we got more. I think we got 4 slingshots within like the first month. Then we got more, and then eventually, when we got to about 7 or 8, we couldn't find them anymore. Like, they weren't on. Like, a lot of dealers don't keep them because most of the dealers are motorcycle dealers. Yeah. So they're dealing with a bike that's this big versus a slingshot that's this big, taking up the whole showroom. Yeah. So a lot of them didn't want to keep them in stock. So we had to run into the problem of we can't get our hands on enough slingshots. So we had to just travel. I'd fly to Oklahoma to get slingshots. And when that happened, it slowed us down a lot from when we first started. So we wanted to expand. We wanted to franchise. And when we wanted to do that, you know, we went through the process of the franchise process, and we were talking about $80,000 for this, for the contractual agreement, the lawyer, and all this. And we're like, yo, we're not spending all this money.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
And so when we ended up coming with the training program.
Okay.
And we was like, oh, we'll just show people how to get into it. We just get paid that way.
How to start their own slingshot business.
Yeah, how to start your own slingshot rental business. So when we first did that, like, it sold really good. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you have people like, yo, listen, I don't want to do it by myself. Yeah. I just want to partner with you guys. So it's
almost like franchising their own city in a sense.
Yeah, well, it was really just like a business opportunity, of course. Like,
but what if they weren't in Atlanta?
It didn't matter. Okay. So we were selling the course, and they could do their own thing. Right. But what ended up happening was they didn't want to do their own thing. Right. They were like, why am I gonna do it and you could like do it for me kind of thing. So we were like, okay, we'll do it. Like, but we're gonna have the percentage on that. Yeah. They're like, so what? Right. So we're like, well, you find the slingshots, we in there. Yeah. They go buy the slingshots. And that's how we went from Stonecrest and Fairburn to Macon to Savannah to Tennessee to Florida to Dallas.
Tennessee.
Knoxville.
That's where I'm from.
Oh yeah,
that's crazy.
So and Memphis to Dallas and Farrington. I've never even been there, but that's how we grew to 7 locations in a matter of months.
So this is like your favorite business.
It was.
Okay, we're gonna get to that in a second too. So then, like, let's also go to that. So when you have a fleet and you have accidents, how does that work? As far as in, like, let's look at, and the reason why I'm asking this question, I'm coming from a normal insurance policy runner. You know, you got your 1 car, maybe 2, right? Well, everything is like a claim and your insurance goes up and all this stuff. What is it like when you've got fleet insurance and then, you know, you're running, the probability for multiple accidents is high?
Yeah, the insurance doesn't go up.
Okay.
What they do, they raise the deductible though.
Okay.
Yeah, so first, like when we first started, the deductible was like $1,500. Yeah. Now it's like $5,000. So and coming up for like every year they'll look at the track report. So basically, as long as you're not over basically what you pay, you keep the insurance. But if you go under that, that's when they'll kick you from the insurance.
Gotcha.
So our first policy we got kicked from.
What were some of the downfalls with the slingshot business? Because every business sounds great, but then it always has its issues. What are some of those
like
things?
I said, the first policy we got kicked from.
Oh, okay.
Right? So we had to go in the middle of the season. We had to find another insurance provider.
And you can't have all those going with no insurance. You don't even want to.
Yo, that happened. Like we had everything rented out. It was one day we had everything rented out. Just going to work, normal day. Insurance not working. Okay, why insurance not working? Oh yeah, you got kicked.
How'd you know it wasn't working?
Because they have to pay. The customer pays for the insurance. So we didn't pay for the insurance. The customer pays for the insurance. Yeah. So you charge them an insurance fee and then they pay for the insurance.
And they pay it through that insurance's portal or something like that?
Pay it through the portal. So when that happened, like it wasn't working. So we trying to figure out why it's not working. We got kicked.
Did you? How long did it take to find another alternative?
And we had it backed up by next week.
Okay. Cool.
But we had to refund like $5,000, $6,000 that day.
Why?
Because we couldn't rent them.
Oh, I see what you're saying. And you were like, I'm not about to let these just go. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So like what type of, we kind of answered it, but how do you find this other type? Because like you said, it's not State Farm, it's not Geico, it's not Progressive. How did you find the other insurance providers? You had to like reach out to someone in the business to kind of give you someone else?
This is what happened, right? So that's crazy you asked me that. Mm-hmm. So ended up, when we launched the course, Eagle Rider ended up reaching out to us.
Okay.
And they were they're like the biggest motorcycle car sharing platform before Turo, before all of that. They focused on motorcycles. So they were interested in the course. Mm-hmm. And we were talking, so we were interested in the insurance. Like, how does your insurance work? Because like they keep going up on our deductibles. Mm-hmm. Like we're not liking it. It's like, how does it pan out? Even with coercion, right? Because the wrecks, we'd rather someone have a wreck any day of the week than someone actually stealing it.
That's what I was gonna say. Has anyone ever stole the bike?
Yeah. So
you got trackers on them and stuff.
Yeah, but it didn't matter at the time. Because if someone did steal it, if they were successful with stealing it, you only got like I think 50% of what the bike was worth. So we took a brand new $35,000 unit. Got like a $16,000 check from it when we had to make the claim.
And then when it's stolen, it's kind of like, even for safety, it's like, what you gonna do? Pull up on them and try to like?
Yeah, you're not gonna.
Yeah.
We found the guy who did it though.
Okay.
We found the guy who did it.
Yeah.
But you didn't get the bike back. The bike was gone.
Gone
already. By the time we figured out who the dude was, the bike was gone.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah. So we got like $16,000 check for that.
Part of the game though, right?
Well, that's the part of the game I'll try to avoid.
Yeah.
So you got to you can't really do too much about it.
You can't.
Like, even with the trackers and everything like that, you can prevent. And it didn't happen personally to me, like, but my process, like stealing a bike from me. You know what I mean, not that way. You know what I mean, but you can't stop someone from renting it from you. You hand them because coercion is like, I hand you the keys, and now it's not theft anymore. All right, so with coercion, if you hand somebody keys, they just don't decide to bring it back. And you could do whatever you want, but when something happens to the bike is gone.
So you're saying coercion is different than theft. So that's right. So then this other insurance had something for coercion.
Right.
Ah, they smart.
Right.
Okay.
So we deal with the other company, and with that, it basically covered more, but the premium was a lot higher too.
Yeah.
All right. So that premium, we went from paying like $150 premium to like a $600, $700 premium. So you got 16 bikes.
Yeah.
That's kicking out almost like $9,000 a month.
Oh, you're saying per bike,
Yeah.
$600.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Because I was like, $150 for the whole fleet. That's cheap.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. That makes sense.
Yeah. So
Okay.
When you had to do that, it was like, it changed like the business a little bit.
Definitely.
So,
and that's what made it start feeling like, you know what I'm saying?
That wasn't really it. It was really, I think I got burnt out.
Okay.
Because I would do everything.
Yeah.
Right? And in Atlanta, when it's 100 degrees outside, like you don't want to be.
I see what you're saying.
Slingshot.
Right.
If it's for fun, you have fun.
Yeah.
But doing it as a job,
right.
It's like I gotta go get the tires done. I gotta sit out in the sun to do that.
Yeah, I can see the burnout for sure.
Especially in Atlanta traffic, it's not going anywhere on a Saturday.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
You gotta take one all the way up to Canton.
Oh,
45 minutes away.
Whole day shot.
And you gotta be dressed for it too. Like,
dang.
It's hot.
What's the difference between the Slingshot and the T-Rex?
The campaign of T-Rex is one, it's an import.
Okay.
But two, it's really a motorcycle.
Like really a motorcycle.
Yeah, stick shift.
Okay.
They custom made.
Okay, so you can't really rent those out.
No, you can't. You can barely buy them.
Yeah, somebody messed the clutch up and everything.
Yeah. Somebody mess up that, you're done.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's why we never got into like the exotics too much. Because we did the exotic for a while, but when you start doing the exotics, you gotta have a multiple fleet of them.
Yeah.
Because if something happens to one, you just can't just go get it fixed.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
with the Slingshots, it's like no one cares about color really. You know what I'm saying? Like they rented a red one.
Yeah. They just want to be riding with the top
you
off.
You could just easily give them a blue one. You know what I'm saying? Something happens to it. So
that makes sense.
It made it real easy to. It really made it easy to manage.
Got you.
You know.
And since now that we've covered all your businesses, what was really interesting when we first met was like, what's kind of dear to my heart is, of course, I'm in the digital marketing world helping content creators build funnels and stuff like that. But when you said you help service-based business go digital, I really like that because there's so many, course creators that are just selling a digital course, but it's a humongous avenue for service providers to go digital. So let's break a little bit of that down. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like one of my biggest problems as just an entrepreneur and having business, like I had over 100 employees. I know how hard employee retention is.
Right.
And a lot of, especially service-based businesses, fall into that category. It's like people don't respect a service-based small business owner. Like they respect a job working at Target or something. I mean, they'll come up with Target 30 minutes early to get to work on time.
Yeah, but not you.
But they don't even tell me they late till they 30 minutes late already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and having that, it's hard to like scale your business. It's hard to grow when you don't have the proper help to do it.
Right.
So, and that goes back to what I was saying about the Slingshot rental business. Like when we came up with the course, we weren't looking for people that just wanted a business opportunity. Like at first we were like, hey, you want to start a Slingshot business? Then we have all these calls, people not qualified, people don't even have the money. Calling, yeah, I want to do it. And it's like we wasting our time.
Right.
But when we create the course, now we have people invested.
Right.
They pay a couple $1,000s for the course, but they're qualified. They know what they need to have to do it. They're ready to do it.
And let's break this down to when you say the course, this isn't like course being sold to just normal people trying to like learn something in a normal way. You're mainly selling this course to people starting their own business to the sales training process.
Right.
Okay.
Dope. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So you selling the training. So when you get the training, they're like, for one, they went through the training.
Yeah.
They paid a premium price for it, so they vetted like they could do it.
Yeah.
Right. Now it's easy to work with that person.
Yeah.
Versus anybody just coming off the street with seeing an ad or something.
Right.
And it's essentially that's what happened with the mall kiosk when we first opened up the when we did the energy bracelets, right, working for the guy. Yeah. So when we did the DVDs, like boom, they went through the training, even though they didn't pay for it at the time. But if they would have paid for it, so you still got that turnover, right? Yeah. It's like, okay, what's the problem here? Yeah. So eventually what we realized was if you could do the training and people pay you for the training, they're more likely to pay attention. They're more likely to take action, and they're more likely to be committed to it, right? Because they know the bigger opportunity. They know they can make money in the business in itself. Yeah. But now they have the opportunity to work for you, so they can learn while they earn. So learn while they earn. So when we did that, we started noticing higher quality people even coming in to even want to work with us. Okay. And even with the Glam Geeks Beauty Bar. Yeah. When we did the sales training for makeup artists, we go through the sales training, show makeup artists how to be better makeup artists, show makeup artists the makeup artist business. And they pay us for the training at Glam Geeks Academy. Now I got better makeup artists that want to work with me instead of me just looking for people that just want to find a job. Yeah. I got people that want to take makeup artists seriously. So how do you get, so when they hit you up and they're interested, you just send them the course? Like, how does the distribution of it work? How do you even make money from the course? Or is the course made just to help you make money in your business? Well, it's two things, right? So giving them a business opportunity, like with the Slingshot blueprint. Yeah. Like they could go open up their own Slingshot rental business. But you do have a select few people who are just like, nah, I want to do it with you. Yeah, and they buy this course. And they buy the course. Okay. Not in the back of their minds, they just want to do it. Right. Right. But when they buy the course, they like, you talk to them, like they're vetted. Yeah. And they be like, yo, I just want you to do it for me. Right. With me. I just want a partner in I just want a partner. I just want to partner with it. So we're like, okay, that creates a partnership. Now we can open Slingshot rental somewhere else. Yeah. And we got a back end. We're making money off of that. So how do you advertise it to get that course into people's hands? Because it's almost like a pipeline for you to expand your business faster. Right. Well, that's why you got the value ladder, right? It's like, boom, I can show you. It's like when people are doing like credit pay, anything that you're doing, right? So you have a value ladder, especially with a service-based business. The service is, I want to open up more locations. I want to grow. And the problem is you don't have people to help you grow, right? So instead of just trying to hire someone off the street that's going to eventually try to, not all the time, but they're going to want to leave and do their own thing. Right. Or they're not gonna work with you long because they just looking for extra $500 or something, and it's not gonna work out right. They're not gonna show up for work, and you're gonna have these problems with them where you focus more on micromanaging them than you are on the actual business.
Right.
And then I think service-based business, especially artists, really service-based businesses that really take a real fine profession in what they do. Mm-hmm. They get to the point where I'm not hiring nobody. This person messed it up last time. Yeah. I'm not gonna deal with that.
And then now they're stuck in their business.
I'm not. Yeah. Then now they get stuck because I'm gonna be the one that's gonna do it right all the time. Yeah. Right. So when you get into that way, it's kind of hard to get out. Right. Yeah. Because like this person, you deal with people you trust. Yeah. But if you don't trust them, you're not really gonna rock with them.
Facts.
Right? And that's why creating a course, creating a training, and getting someone to pay for that training. Mm-hmm. Now you have a higher quality person lead, really. Right. To that either could do it on their own or it can help you grow your business.
Facts.
Right. And I say this all the time with my my makeup artist, right?
Right.
You got to go through the training. Like, you got to go through the training. Yeah. You just can't get a job at this point. You know what I mean? You go through the training. Now, if you finish the training, you complete the training, now I know. Yeah. Okay, it is what you want.
And what percent of people like go through the training and say, let's partner versus like actually successfully start their own business? Like, what do you usually see?
It's a smaller amount of people that partner. Mm-hmm. It's really how you structure it though.
Yeah.
You know, if it's, so say I'm an auto detailer, right? Right. Like anybody could like, say my cousin has the window tint business, right? Mm-hmm. They're like, yo, we're gonna come out with a course for you to do the window tint business. Yeah. Right. He's like, I don't really want to sell a course. I said, yo, you're complaining about not having employees. Yeah. Employees come, then they try to do their own thing all the time. Yeah. Well, why don't you make them pay you for the information? Because that's what they're doing anyway. Yeah. They're coming to work for you to learn how to do it, and then they're leaving.
So you're getting people, like you're using the course to build retention with your employees, but how do you get somebody, because what I'm trying to understand, I want the people to understand, how do you get them to pay for it?
Well, for one, you have to build the authority. Mm-hmm. And what you're doing, right? Because everyone wants to be a part of something, especially if you're talking about hiring employees. Mm-hmm. They have to be something bigger than, especially trying to hire entrepreneurs employees, right? Mm-hmm. They have to be something bigger that they see the value in what you have to offer, bigger than just getting a paycheck, because they know the paycheck isn't.
But if I went somewhere and I'm thinking like, yo, I'm going to Macy's, like we said, to get a job, I'm thinking I'm applying, but now they're like, buy this course, and if you complete it, you can work for us.
No. That's not how that works. So we'll have a different thing. Like, we have outsourced makeup artists, right? Mm-hmm. So say you want to be a makeup artist at Glam Geeks. We have outsourced makeup artists that focus on weddings, events, right, and things outside of the shop. Right. But we're not going to just hire any makeup artists off the street and expect them to go represent us that way. Right. So in turn, you take a class. We'll make sure you pass. You make sure you're great. Make sure you work with us. You can work with us. Yeah. And then if you want to, we have the opportunity for you to go.
So there's more of an interest in getting on at your company versus like, I'm just applying for a quick job, and that's what makes them jump into it. Okay. Right. Cool. And then
it's about growing your business. Not really just hiring employees, but really growing the business.
Got you. And where can they find like this information from you? Or is this like case by case as they're applying?
So I mean, you could go to Glam Geeks ATL, and on Instagram page and apply for the course. But as far as like right now, I have my knowledge in the cash book. Gotcha. Where I show you how to actually take your service-based business, right, and how to create a course, create content that'll drive people to want to work with your brand.
I really like this aspect too, because I'm so used to people just mass selling courses to like with anything, but like yours is the course about retention for your own business. And I think that's the value ladder with this, because it's like everybody right now post pandemic is dealing with labor issues and this and that, but it's like build. So like what business, like, okay, just to break it down, I'm always coming up with objecting beliefs. So someone on here may say, oh, that won't work for my business, how I can prove them wrong. So if you were a lawn care business, right? A moving company where it's like, you know, it's difficult to get people like to work for you. How does this work for them?
Well, like I said, you always want to focus on the entrepreneur. You want to have people that are ambitious to help you grow your business, because those only people that are going to grow it. Yeah. Right? Everyone else is going to sit around, wait for you to do everything. Yeah. And then to see what their paycheck ends up looking like. Right. So in turn, I'll create a opportunity for you to create a moving company for yourself. Right. And it's a high percentage of people that either one, they don't have the financial resources themselves to do it.
Right.
Or two, they don't really necessarily want to do it themselves.
The execution's just not there.
Right.
But what's crazy about that perspective of how you do it, most people don't want to hire ambitious and driven people because of the scarcity mindset and the fear that person's going to take off, duplicate their business, this and that. But you're coming at it completely opposite with your offer right now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because you're going to do that anyway.
Yeah.
Right. You can't help someone coming in and copying you and trying to do it.
Right.
But you can't help them though. And you could get more from helping them than you can shooing them away, because you get to grow your business with them.
Definitely.
Right. They get to grow their business with you.
And what's actually kind of catch-22 about that whole situation is like hiring somebody to get them to the next level may actually be more retention for your business, because they're not going to leave off the strength of you're holding them back. What's actually going to keep them there longer is like, yo, you ain't executed yet. And execution is way more harder than dipping thinking you're going to execute. It's like, yo, you've been here being groomed since day one. You know, once you're ready to fly, but it takes people longer to fly.
Right, and you got my support with that.
Yeah.
Right, so it's like you come in, you work with me, and I know what your goal is. Right? I know what you're trying to do. Right, this might be something that you can't financially do. It might be something that you want someone to hold your hand. You want to learn first, right? It's okay to learn first. Right. So why don't you learn with me? So eventually you're gonna get there. You're gonna see stuff. You're gonna make changes. Like, even my makeup artists now, they're like, Akeem, let's change this. Let's do this. Let's do that. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, when it's time for you, hey, Akeem, I want to open my own shop.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't got the money, all of the, so what? We're not making any excuses to do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I might take a percentage over here.
Yeah.
Eventually buy my percentage out.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So what's the future look like for you? Like, what are you focused on? What are you trying to scale to? What's next? Because like we talked about all the businesses you have, they're super cool. Like, what's next for King?
So right now, I'm launching my Knowledge in the Cash Book.
Okay.
And Knowledge in the Cash Book is going to show how service-based business, as long as you're in a service-based business, you're providing a service for someone, how you could take that and create an online program for one, to grow your service-based business and to scale your service-based business, as well as help others do the same thing. And
that's a niche in itself. That's what I like about it too. It's not like it's just some book you're just throwing out for a cash grab. It's actually like I said, the service-based business doesn't really get the attention they need. So it's like, let me show you this and how you can also like scale what you're doing with this. So I definitely like that offer.
So and then, because that's where I come from. You know what I mean? That's what my background is, like real business, like physical businesses. And it's hard to get in that. I think I just been lucky, just having the persistence, and over time, even with my job, like I talked about before, like being there, working at the job, understanding how it works, understanding how some of my best employees, how they were, what their motivation was. Like some of my best employees end up opening up their own kiosk.
That's admirable too, because it's just like helping people get there. Because another thing that I'm thinking about, which we talked about earlier, there's so many of us in small businesses, and this is what changed me with the t-shirt business, right? It's like we get stuck in our business, and I just had an epiphany like, yo, I'm not trying to be 35 years old, like when I have a family and stuff, stuck in the warehouse. Right. How can I pivot? How can I change to make this more efficient? But there's so many of us that actually don't have that epiphany, and we get stuck in our business doing the grind, and then you look up and you've been there 10, 15 years. And I always said, like, this isn't a diss or any like racial situation, whatever. It's just an analogy. Like, I never wanted to end up like when I go to the Chinese restaurant and I see their whole family working there. Yes, it's admirable taking care of the family, but my thing was from a process standpoint, it's like you've built your whole labor infrastructure on your personal family. So how do you take vacations? How do you stop the business? You never can stop or enjoy those family moments because sister's the cashier, dad's cooking, mom's managing the books. We can't close down. So we're always working. And I was like, how do I not put myself in that situation?
Right. And it's easy to get stuck in that situation.
Yeah.
Like even with the mall kiosks, like you see like not to say anything about anybody, but you see the Indians, like they work there every day.
Yeah.
And I just said the same thing. Like,
yeah,
I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm pretty sure they've made millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they got all the millions of dollars still.
Yeah, facts.
But just my life in general, like I want to experience stuff. I'm still young. I want to go out. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this.
Yeah.
And not being stuck in the business, it allows you to enjoy everything you work for. Instead of being stuck in the business. Even when you're stuck in there, people get stuck even longer because now you don't even have a retirement plan.
Don't. Yeah.
It's like you still got the money, but what happens to the business if you stop at 60? What happens?
What happens? Facts. So cool. I mean, as we conclude, do you have anything else that like we missed that the people need to hear?
Yeah. Well, yeah. You can start anyone. I know a lot of people. Like, this is not going to work for me, but it will. Like one of my biggest clients right now is Mark Gregory, right? And Mark Gregory, he's one of the best custom pool table manufacturers in the world. He's worked on Brunswick Scroll Crown 5. He helped build the Diamond Blue Label table.
Dang.
And he's probably going to watch this. But Mark when we first met, he was doing everything himself. He's just such a perfectionist, right? Yeah. And it's the same thing happens with makeup artists. They're such perfectionists in their craft and what they do. They can almost get into a place where I can't help nobody get better than, no one's gonna do it better than me, right? Yeah. Because they try training people, they try helping. Like, how many times have you helped someone do something?
Bro, I was just talking to my guy Justin about this yesterday. I was like, the thing that I fear is my funnels are so good. I don't want to be like, when I start outsourcing and bringing on my own team, people to like look at great work and just see that that's not Tony. And it's like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you become so good that people can just see your work that you can almost get stuck there because the customers are like, nah, this don't look like what I saw.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like, normally that would have been a 10 out of 10 project, but they're like, I came here for you.
Yeah. That's kind of like getting in your own way, though. You know what I'm saying? Because the customer, you have a real perfectionist about your work. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like, do the best are the richest makeup artists in the world the best makeup artists on the planet?
Nope, sure not.
They never are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not saying that you can get the money, focus on the business, but I mean, you gotta get the money. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So, don't be stuck on being the best at this thing if you don't got the best life to go with it.
Facts. Hey, that's a bar right there. So where can people find you at? Where can they tap in with what's going on or whatever?
They can find me you find me a lot of places.
What's the Instagram?
But you can find me on Instagram at Think Akeem.
Think Akeem. Okay. And then they probably click the link in your bio, get all that. And if they're in Atlanta, where do they get the slingshots? No matter where you at.
You just Google Slingshot Atlanta, I'll pop right up.
You gonna pop right up.
So the most important thing though, I want, if you have a business, even if you don't have a business, because this could work with you working with other businesses too. Right. You got to grab a copy of my Knowledge in the Cash book. Like, you have to. Yeah. Because for one, it's free. I'm not charging anything for it.
Y'all, he said it's free.
It's absolutely free. I might change that. So we're going to keep it free. Matter of fact, we're going to do a link. We're going to put a link on here. Okay. It'll be free because I might change it.
Yeah.
Hey. I don't know. It's still up in the air. It's still up in there. But it might be $10. All right. Just if they're on podcast, they watch podcasts. For $10. But the Knowledge in the Cash book will show you how to take even someone else's business, right? If you see a problem with someone else's business, someone else's work, because a lot of us know people that have businesses, and they're stuck in that space, right? They're not growing and they can't, right? And you can even help them, even if you don't have a business yourself.
Yeah, dope. Well, y'all heard it. That's my guy, Akeem Reed, on Instagram. Think Akeem? Yep, Think Akeem. Tap in with him for sure. Like, what I really love that he's doing, like I said, guys, service-based businesses, seeing how you guys can scale and not get stuck in your business. A major problem that a lot of small time, not even say small time, just us as entrepreneurs deal with. We get in our business, we make our businesses passion projects, and we don't know how to get out. That's what Akeem is helping you guys with. So definitely follow him, tap in, and we'll see y'all on the next podcast.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate it, Tony. You got a nice spot here, too.
Hey, appreciate it, bro.